Yo, it's your boy Ryan, Northwest Sports Fanatics. Back at you with a new video. Today is Wednesday, February 7th, 2024, with your boy Ryan and the Northwest Sports Fanatics. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel. Smash that like button either now or on your way out. Donate to your boy if you can. Cash App, $ ORION NWSF, or the YouTube Super Chat right here. We got NHL action this Wednesday afternoon. We got the Dallas Stars versus the Toronto Maple Leafs. I can't wait. I haven't got a chance to do too many of the Maple Leaf games. So anytime I can see Nylander or Matthews play, obviously I'm down for that. And then I've seen quite a bit of Dallas last season, a few games this year. And, whether it be Joe, Pavelski, whether it be Jason Robertson, or maybe one of my favorites, Rupe Hintz, you already know what you're going to end up getting. And this is kind of a good gauge, I feel, for Toronto going against a team like Dallas to see kind of how they stack up. Hopefully it ends up being a good matchup, and there's not a whole lot of action today, but I figured that this would be the best matchup to do. We got a nice background, worked on the thumb, got that all set up, and obviously I had to hit you with the players that I enjoy watching the most. On the left, it ain't Robertson, it ain't Joe, it ain't Jason, it's Rupe Hintz on the left. And then we got Austin Matthews, the superstar, on the right. Let's go. I'm ready. Daniel in the building. What's good? Preston in the building. What's good? Let's go. Megan in the building. Let's good. Let's go. Sarah in the building. Let's go. Yeah, and like I said, anytime, Preston, that, Kraken are going to be first. And then if they're not playing, then I'm going to go Vegas Golden Knights or the Avalanche or the Stars next. And then the Devils, and then if there's other matchups that I see some superstars or teams that I enjoy watching. And, I enjoy watching a lot of the teams that are in the West, whether that be the Vegas Golden Knights, the Colorado Avalanche, the Dallas Stars. Honestly, those are the three teams that I think I would rather watch the most if the Kraken wasn't on. And then obviously doing Devils games for Odin and Aiden. I love doing that. And Maple Leafs, you want to try to be able to get as many teams in, during the regular season. So that way you have a better gauge as we get to the playoffs, who's a real contender and who's a pretender. Like who's someone that's going to get to the playoffs and maybe lose, in the first round, or someone that maybe could go, maybe not all the way to the Stanley Cup, but, a little bit further than some of those others. So we'll see. Wedgwood is in. No Jake Ottinger. Uh-oh. Does that mean that Toronto's got the advantage? And don't worry, we got the Maple Leaf pulsing logo there, right, on the right. And then I also got a rotating Dallas Stars logo there for any of the Stars fans like Preston. I haven't forgotten about you. Let's go. Whoa, let's go. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. That's always good. When we end up getting goats that really step up, not only for the other goats, but for the other people that are in the room, for the other mods, to set the example for the newbies, for the people watching on Twitter/X. We represent so many different sports, so many different cultures. It doesn't matter if you're a man, a woman. It doesn't matter if you're young or you're old. It don't matter if you're here in the States or if you're international like Megan. I appreciate you very, very much. Let's go, Toronto, the team I have loved for over 40 long, frustrating years, but we have the Kraken now as well. Let's go. I appreciate you very, very much. Let's go, baby. Stacks on stacks, racks on racks with a little Cactus Jack. Bang, bang. Appreciate you very, very much. Let me know what you want to do for photos. If there's any past Maple Leaf players that you want me to throw up, I can do that. If you want me to do present players like Matthews or Nylander, I can do that. If you would like us to do something with the Kraken, I can do that as well. But I do appreciate you very, very much. And way to set the tone, right out of the gates. I appreciate you. This is not something that you have to do. This is not something that is obligated. This is something that you're doing because you want to be able to support me and Paisley and the dream and what we're doing. And it really means a lot. So thank you so much. I wouldn't be able to do this channel full time if it wasn't for people like Megan. And not only was she a contributor at the very, very beginning when we first ended up meeting each other and we ended up building a relationship, right? But as some other people have come and gone, consistency is key, just like with me and my dreams, but also having people that are going to be consistent. And I love you. I appreciate you. And it means a lot. Thank you so much. Let me know what you want to do for photos, and I got you. Appreciate you. Let's go. All right. Well, we hit the initial goal because we have some amazing people on this channel, and hopefully we can add on to that and see if we can get to the secondary goal of getting to the next goal, which would be going from 100 to 2, or maybe somewhere between 1 and 150. We'll see, depending on who shows up. Let's go. I guess, is that something that they put in? I noticed on Twitter/X, when I live stream from there, they ended up changing the format where it's like kind of a blown up figure of me, like a box that's kind of zoomed in and whatnot. So I don't know if that's something new that they're trying out and whatnot. But I have noticed that they've been adding some more features to YouTube on certain things that you can like. You can end up doing donations, on just uploaded content. You can do it when the person isn't even live at that particular time. So they're trying to make it more accessible for content creators to get rewarded from their fans, friends, and in our case, family. So we appreciate that. Thank you so much. Let's go. Let's go. Scotiabank Arena. Let's go. Yeah, with Sundin, we can do that. We can start there. All right, let me check. Let me get some of these throwback photos up here. Appreciate you very much. And it's just nice that with everything, me being a Bucks fan and you being a Seahawks fan, we can still have the Mariner connection. We can have the Kraken connection. I mean, really the only thing that would be missing. Now, the thing is, if I lived in Seattle, if I lived in Washington, I would have been a Seahawks fan, but I live in Oregon, and I didn't really have the connection there, but we still got the Kraken, we still got the Mariners, and I still am going to keep up, with everything Kraken and the Seattle Seahawks. You know that. But let's get some Toronto Maple Leafs representation up here on the board. Let me see what I can come up for you. Appreciate you. What do we think about the font on the Reebok with the name and the number? The number kind of looks like NFL or like something of that nature with the actual font of the number, and then the font of the name. It's a little bit thicker than we're normally used to. Obviously, it's a different time and a different jersey. I'm not really sure how I feel about it. I kind of like it because it's different, and it doesn't look like really the jerseys nowadays. It is a little awkward looking though, because like the name looks like hockey, but the number looks like football. So it kind of feels like two jerseys mashed into one, like an NHL jersey and an NFL jersey had a baby and they just smashed it together. And then that's what we got with this jersey. But it's like, I don't want to say it's the most beautiful jersey. I don't want to say it's an ugly jersey. I think that as the more that you look at it, it kind of grows on you, just because jerseys don't look this way. But I'm kind of leaning more towards I kind of like it rather than I kind of don't like it, just because it's different. But it definitely does. The vibe gets a little weird though, because you look at the name and the number and it just doesn't really match. But I still think it looks cool though. And if you own this, I mean, that's a collector item right there, right? Pretty neat. I did see that. I did see that. They're bringing all of the brothers there in Seattle, which is kind of cool, right? Pretty cool. Congratulations. It's very difficult to be able to gain any ground on any social media platform. So I like to bring people up instead of smash people down. Congratulations, bro. That's awesome. Ooh, look at you, Renee, busting out the names. Oh, baby. Yeah. Let's go. Yeah. Give me the whole history. Give me the whole history. From obviously we know where it started off early on, and then the breakdown. Here we go. And then we end up getting the Flyers matchup on Saturday, and then obviously he formerly coached Philadelphia before coming to Seattle for the Kraken. Hit me with the facts. Hit me with the information. You know I like that. Yeah. Well, yeah, and I think throwbacks are throwbacks. It's an unusual, but I think it's kind of leaning more towards the cool. And when you look at the number, it more looks like NFL or college football. But I think the part of the jersey that makes it stand out that I like it is the font of the name. It's just so bold and big. It kind of is awkward looking, but cool looking at the same time because it's just so different than what we've seen, based off font and the thickness of the last name on the back. But obviously this is a, team issued jersey, not a fan one that you could buy. But I kind of like it. Flyers, Leafs, Kraken. See, there you go. Right there. See, I was waiting for you. I was waiting. I was like, okay, we have to go through all the North Dakota, right? Like every little. I was about to say, we're really getting specific, and we're going there. So, see, I can always count on you to be able to, like I said, there's a few of us on the channel that we're going to be able to have the history and the information, and maybe a little bit more information on those pieces that we like a little more compared to some of the others that are in the room. We all have our favorites, players, coaches, history. All right, here we go. All right, let me turn the volume up here, and we'll get you photos sprinkled in throughout the stream. I appreciate you very much. Yes. Yeah, cross-check said. Turn the music off here until we get to like commercial break. That's just a nice looking jersey. It's a nice color of blue, and then the Maple Leaf logo has always been really cool looking. So lots of history with Toronto. Definitely not an ugly jersey. It looks sharp. Let me refresh everything here. There we go. How many logos has Toronto had? In their history, how many logo changes? Have they had many, many logo changes in their history? But one thing is for sure, when you got, superstars on a team where you got 3 guys on one, 2 or 3 on the other, you're going to end up having a good competitive matchup. But like for me, like watching these two teams go at it, it's not like difficult to watch or anything like that. It's very easy to watch. Colorado College and Colorado Springs. Oh, that's cool. Oh, how did that not go in? That was so close. Dallas very aggressive right out of the gates, getting right into the crease. Passing has been pretty crisp, but Dallas is coming out throwing haymakers out there. Not actual physically, but they're trying to end up getting points early. 8. Wow, that's a lot of logo changes. Obviously, you can modify the font, you can modify the leaf, but obviously you're going to be sticking with the color scheme is pretty much going to be still you would assume the same. I mean, sometimes when you have a great thing, there's no reason to change a great thing, but you know, just like with like the Hawks and the way that the hawk looks and then the colors, sometimes people like to be able to see what they can do, based off different font and maybe shape shifting of the design and whatnot. But sometimes simple is more, and that's what I feel that you get a little bit more on the 70s, 80s, and 90s. Like those jerseys and styles of clothes. Sometimes it's not as flashy. It's just like the simple designs. Usually, they hold on for the test of time. So okay, cool. Thank you. Oh, we got an offsides. 5-0 in the last 5 games versus the Stars. 13 goal differential. Wow. And we'll do some more photos here once we end up getting into a commercial break. Very fast paced, like in some matchups when you watch in hockey, it's kind of slow. They're not really skating full speed and kind of going through the motions. In this matchup, very fast, very crisp. You feel like I don't know necessarily how many. If we are going to get like a 5-3 game, like in the matchup that we did yesterday with the Devils and the Avalanche, but hopefully we can get over 3 goals. Hopefully, at least 3 at the most, or at the least. So, Mr. Williams in the building, my boy. How are you, bro? Look at you coming through and showing love. It's always good when we get one goat to come in to show mad love and then another goat to come in to show mad love. Goats helping out other goats is much appreciated. And we haven't had something like this happen, and too often it happens, but it does mean a lot. Thank you so much, man. I appreciate you. Stacks on stacks, racks on racks. Cactus Jack. Bang, bang. Mr. Williams doesn't forget about Oh Doggy Dog. I appreciate that. Love you too, man. Appreciate you. Appreciate you. Bang, bang, bang. How is work? How are things going in your life right now? Stacks on stacks, racks on racks. Cactus Jack. Bang, bang. Appreciate you too. Very, very much. You guys are amazing. We missed you too, man. And there's going to be times you come in and you can only stay for a little bit. There's going to be times you come in and things are a little bit tight. There's going to be times that you're going to be able to hang around for a little bit longer. And then there's going to be times where you're going to be able to double dip, on the donos and on the dono train. Thank you so much, man. There's going to be some people that are going to support me, forever. There's going to be some people that are going to support me short term. There's going to be people that are, going to come and they're going to go. But it really does mean a lot. And I, if this is my full time job, right, I have to grind. And thank you so much I really appreciate that because as you know, well, we're going to have, donos, some of the stuff on the super chat that'll go towards like next month for like rent and bills and the big stuff. And then the Cash App stuff for the people that can send it, that'll help me with, taking care of shit that I need to take care of like right now, like, getting my cell phone paid or getting the internet bill paid, which are things that are coming up here like very, very shortly. So thank you. Thank you. That will help with that. So I appreciate that very much. Anytime that we can get something donated for me and Paisley, and then it can go towards the dream, like getting the internet going or making sure my cell phone doesn't get turned off. That's really important. Or getting food for Paisley or treats for her means a lot. So thank you so much, Mike. Mr. Williams with a triple. Thank you, man. Mr. Williams with the 50, with the 20, with the 69er for the mental health. I appreciate you, man. Oh, Maple Leafs! 1-0 Maple Leafs. Thank you, Mike. Mental health, it's really important. Mr. Williams Dono is right there. It's large and in charge, right? Blocking the message. There it is. Appreciate you, man. Appreciate you. $69 for the mental health. You only got one, and that's a big part. Like even Odin's son, when we end up, sometimes, for my mental health, sometimes I have to, end streams early. Sometimes I have to just not stream, if I'm not mentally in a good headspace, or if we go a few hours and I know I'm going to be streaming every day. Sometimes shit needs to be cut off to preserve my mental health, so that way that I can, stream the next day or the next day. And most of the time Odin isn't in the room when I end up ending something early. But he was in the room a few days ago when I ended up ending one of my streams early, and he messaged me, and I don't know if he thought I was going to be like mad, or I was going to be mad at him for bringing it up. But I told him, it's like I have to make sure that I'm looking out for my mental health. So and it's like if we're doing streams and I can only take so much like zeros or like dollars, if I'm doing a stream, like, you have to put yourselves in my shoes. It's like, some days we're going to have great days like today. There's going to be other days where it might not be as good, and we might hit a 0 or like a 1. And for other people, that might not mean anything to them. But if you actually put yourselves in my shoes of like grinding, spending an hour to make a thumbnail and then grinding for 3 or 4 hours, how many streams can you do, with getting like a 0 or like a dollar before it starts affecting, someone personally? 1, 2, maybe 3, and then you just got to pray and pray and pray that someone will come along to end the stream, and then you can get back to, grinding it out and being in, because like for me, like I was telling Odin, I can't be fake. Like if things are going good, you're going to know. If things are going bad, you're going to know. I'm going to do my best to help people out. And, I know this is a platform where it does help people out. And I know that we can express our feelings and help each other with like problems and be there for each other. So I think that after he messaged and we kind of, and I told him the next time that he's in the room and that, obviously as one of the OG mods, and if something like that does happen again and we're at a 0, and depending on how many days that I've hit 0 previously to that, I'll try to stick it out for him, to finish it off, into the stream. But I told him, I mean, I have a hard time of being fugazi and fake, you know what I mean? And I just can't put on a fake smile, and act like everything's good and okay. If we end up having like 3 or 4 tough streams in a row, it's like, at some point, and it's like, I just want to make sure that I'm being a good host and I'm being honest and genuine and real all of the time. I don't want to be one way on stream and then off stream a different way. But I really want to say thank you, thank you, thank you. I appreciate you guys very, very much. It means a lot. And obviously, when you do things like this, like the two of you guys together, then also people that are watching on Twitter/X, the people that will watch the rebroadcast, they will understand, who is bankrolling the dream, to be able to have me help other people, but also to make sure that, me and Paisley have this dream that I can continue doing, because this is the most important thing in my life. Like, as you guys know, like, how many people would sacrifice a Jordan rookie that, would be worth like 20, 50,000, that would be worth over $100,000? Not very many people would ever own a Jordan rookie, let alone sacrifice it for a dream. So, I mean, I'm invested and I'm all in. And I love you guys. Thank you so much. Appreciate you. Yes, I know. I know. One big dono from Megan, three donos from Mr. Williams. No worries. No worries. You always do, and the thing is, even when, sometimes things get a little bit, where I got other stuff that I need to take care of, my bills, my toys, my things that I need, right? But then even when that is said, you still end up sometimes still like, oh, I'm still going to help you out, and that means a lot too. And I understand there's going to be times you know, where it just things are tight. Not everyone is going to be in a position where the goats or the mods are at. And then hopefully we can continue to grow and grow and grow, so that way that we don't have to, feel like we have to rely on the same, people. Others can step up, but it also, in retrospect, shows that if you are one of those people, how much more that means to me than even from before, because if things have changed with some people not being here as much or often as, maybe last year or the year before, like, the support, I can't even put into words what it means, because like I said, for my mental health and to keep my, you know and I feel I've kept my depression and anxiety at bay. Having Paisley and having this outlet to talk and do sports and wrestling and vibe with you guys on basketball, baseball, football, hockey, wrestling, UFC, music, pop culture, toys, sports cards, posters, magazines, Star Wars, Marvel, DC, collecting, all of that. So it's an amazing thing, and I'm really proud to have people like you guys, support and bankroll the dream. I appreciate y'all. You guys, let me know what you want to do for photos here. We have 10 minutes left here in the first period. Maple Leafs 1, Stars 0. Nyland with the first goal, which is no surprise. 47 hours. Wow. Yeah. But I know Odin was probably a little upset that I would just end a stream. But I had to explain to him, it's like if I do, two stream, like if I do one stream and we get a 0, I try to be like, all right, and I understand not everyone's going to like hockey or basketball or college basketball or wrestling or NASCAR. A majority of the fan base is going to be NFL and college football with some wrestling fans. And then the other sports, not everyone's going to be a baseball fan or a hockey fan or a NASCAR fan. I get it. But you just hope that if I'm grinding it out, 365, football season doesn't last 12 months. So it's like, I can't, obviously I can talk about the NFL, but there's not NFL games, or college football games. I mean, it only lasts a couple months. So, we got to be able to grind it out and do other things. So to kind of keep us afloat. So. But I was trying to tell him, it's like having 1-0, I'm okay. But then also, if you have 2 or 3 tough streams, it gets a little tough. And then also, too, as you guys have noticed, I've been exercising and I've been addicted to that. So it's like a good addiction to have. And, I'm addicted to exercising and trying to stay in shape with Paisley. And I've cut back on a lot of other things with like drinking and the alcohol. So obviously, if you're drinking, whether it's hard liquor or beers or whatever, yeah, if you're doing that on stream, you probably will get to a point where if you do get a little faded, you stop caring about shit. So then if you end up having a couple days where you hit 0 or $1, and you're drunk and you're faded, probably maybe you're so out of it you don't care, or you won't care until the next day once you sober up. But since I am not on that type of wavelength, and even when we did drink on the channel, it's not like I was smashing half a fifth or anything like that. It's like, a couple tall boys here, or maybe like a 6-pack of Corona, where we're feeling pretty good, but we're not like to the point where we're like can't even talk, or anything like that. So So I feel that, obviously the more, the more sober or the more in tune you are with what's going on, and obviously, as a lot of us are on the channel, a lot of us are very emotional people, sometimes for the good, sometimes for the bad. But if we believe in something, we're passionate people. I mean, if you're a fanatic, right, and you're a sports fanatic per se, right, regardless of where you are in the globe, we have a lot of passion, for what we believe in, and also our, people in our lives, and obviously our favorite teams and our favorite players, right? I mean, that's just what it's about. So you guys are the best. Love you. Yeah. And that's why, Odin was saying and some of the other people were like, the people feel kind of bad when things are a little bit lower than expected, where, even some of the mods and other people, they would say this to me, and they would be like, you know, not everyone is in a position to be able to help. So I get that, but when you hear other mods and other people say that when they think that others are taking advantage of a host or a person, that's not a good feeling. But again, like I said, there are millions and millions of channels. There are millions and millions of opportunities. Sometimes you just have to wait your turn, but also it's, being thankful and having gratitude for the people that you have rather than the people that you don't. And just like, be thankful for the stuff that you have, not the stuff that you don't have. So once you start, thinking about life like that, with like being grateful for Paisley, being grateful for you guys, and just knowing that it's just all going to work out, because, obviously I have a work ethic of a fucking madman, and I'm always going to be reading and doing film study. I'm always going to put 150% out all the time. And it's just about finding the right people, finding the right tribe to be able to grow with. And not everyone is going to be a part of this VIP club that we're trying to create. And obviously we want to have the club be big enough for so many to be able to join, but again, some people are fit, some people, maybe not as much. So, yeah, for real though. And then also too, when I do this job, it's like, if it's something that you love, they say, oh, it's not a day of work in your life, but I mean, it is, because you got to think, putting the thumbnail together, and the tags, and the format, and everything, it's like, so there's going to be days where I'm doing 7 days a week, where with a regular person job, you're doing 4 or 5 days a week. Nice save. So when you're working 7 days a week, sometimes that gets mentally draining. You know what I mean? And I have to rely on, exercising and eating right, and just trying to put myself in a position to look at my collectibles, watch the cartoons and my favorite movies and shows, to get myself in a, not to pump myself up, because like I said, talking to people and being on the mic comes natural to me, because like I said, people were already saying, things about my voice when I was already young, when I was like 13, 14, 15, 16, like TV radio voice before the podcast really era began. So, but having people like y'all definitely, make things easier. And I do appreciate, everything that you guys do. And especially for the people that go above and beyond, like the two of you. You guys go above and beyond. There's going to be others that will only do $1, only do two, only do five, or never, or once in a blue moon, maybe a five or a tenner, maybe. But then you get the next step up for the people that do the 10s and the 20s, and then the occasional do the ones and the fives and the eights, and and then you get that consistent support. And then you just get the fanatics, where people are doing 50 and above, and that's a whole nother category of person. And that's obviously the two of you. Anytime you get into the 50, the 100, the 200, the 500, you're going into that. It definitely helps, for all the days where I'm grinding it out, and then you end up, at like a 0 or a 1 or a 2 or a 5. So, you got to be able to, put everything into different layers, and understand, every day is different. But bless the two of you. I really appreciate you guys. Must have been the lucky Supreme headband that I wear like 3 times a year. I don't know why I decided to bust it out, but I said, you know what? I'm feeling like a Supreme headband day. I'm not going to do it all the time. It's very rare, and then boom, boom shakalaka. It must have worked. Yeah, I mean, like I said, I feel like me also as a person, having more of like a female brain rather than a male brain with more empathy and sympathy and understanding people's relationships with like cats and dogs when you feel alone, and when you don't have anybody and you only have a dog or a cat, or something of that situation in your life. But also just being able to go through different people's personalities and being able to vibe and listen and understand. Because that's why I know that there's a certain type of person that I'm drawn to and people that are drawn to me. And I know that if I wasn't doing this or doing gaming or beat making with Brooks or doing a video game channel, obviously being like a therapist, psychologist, teacher like my dad, Boys and Girls Club, mentor, helping the youth, helping people. I already knew that that was kind of part of my legacy and my destiny, at a young age. Like I was put here to be able to help, and I have to work hard to be able to put myself in a position to be able to take care of me so that way I can take care of others. But it's like, I can't be able to take care of others if I can't take care of myself first. So you got to work really, really, really hard to be able to get to that point. And then once you get there, and then money is no issue with bills and everything, then you can use that money and use your time to help other people, like trying to be able to get a YouTube studio here in Oregon. That is my ultimate dream, to be able to have like where they have YouTube studios and YouTube houses in California. That's a pretty common thing. But in Oregon, there isn't anything like that. But to be able to have it be nonprofit or profitable, and you could charge $15 an hour, people would show up. You have, 5 or 10 computers, green screens, people that can help with thumbnails, editing, and all that, lighting. It could be something that not only could bring the community together, but then not only that, you could also help, people's dreams come true, whether it be someone that is like 7 years old or someone that's over 40 that just wants help, doing whatever it is, whether it's Instagram or TikTok or YouTube or Twitch, but they just have no fucking resources. They don't know where to go. Obviously, YouTube tutorials can only take you so far, but if you end up having that hands-on approach where someone can actually like step by step help you achieve your dreams, and then we can end up having dreams made in one building. That is my dream, to be able to do something like that. So that way we can, we had this rapper come out of our building. Oh, we had this country, mini superstar that's like 12. She got discovered here in Oregon from my building. Like, things like that would be very, very cool. That's what it's all about, man. You guys are the best. Appreciate you. All right, man. All right, man. That sounds good. I appreciate you, man. He always comes through in the clutch too, because it's like I can get with like Megan and Reflect and the people that will do the super chat. Obviously, with Megan, Cash App, Australia, different, accessible, unaccessible, right? So, and it's probably better that way because it's good to be able to have the support on both. So that way, if something it comes up immediately, I'm not worried. And then also in the future, we're getting taken care of. 1-0 Maple Leafs, less than 5 minutes to go here in the first period. Oh, what a power play goal. Rupe hits. Oh, baby. Wow. Let me watch this replay. Jamie. I'll get you a photo, dude. I got you. Got your spinning logo. I got you a Jamie Ben. Nice. I knew it would be more than likely a pretty competitive game. And, obviously the Kraken are going to have to face Dallas and Colorado and Vegas if they ever want to get to the promised land. Jay meet Ben, right? But for me, as just a fan of the NHL and not looking at the rivalry and just looking at like who's fun to watch. And I like obviously the color scheme of the jerseys, home and away for the Stars. But I like, Joe Pavlevsky. I like, Jason Robertson. I like Rupi Hintz. Like when you're looking at some of the players, and Ottinger and Net, like I like a lot of the players that are on that roster. They got some, star power in the names, but they play well together. So, I mean, some people are not going to be a fan and some are, but I feel that when you watch them, do they have all the pieces to win the Stanley Cup? Maybe not. It feels like them and Colorado have a lot of the pieces, but maybe they're missing like a piece, like or two, like something to get them over the hump over Vegas and some of the others. But it seems like Colorado's good, Dallas is good, Vegas is a little bit better, and there'll be other teams that float around, and then obviously the Kraken are going to try to be like Vegas, try to build our model after them and the success they've had. It's very competitive. Very, very competitive. We're not up at one, baby. 6 shots on goal for the Stars, 4 for the Maple Leafs. And it's always good when you get ballas balling out of control. I did see that. I had a feeling it would. Vegas is very, very tough, and Edmonton had to do it on the road. They would have had a better chance of that at home. But what they had is pretty amazing. I mean, it's very rare to get above 10 wins. You're not going to see that. You can get pretty close, 7, 8, 9. But when you start going 10, 11, 12, and then above 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, that's a little bit more rare air. Oh, Stars again. Wow, Stars capitalizing. My goodness. And I think that even in the player interviews, they knew how difficult it was going to be to beat because Vegas is going out there not only to win for their reputation, they wanted to be the ones that, hey, we're going to break the streak. Don't forget who we are. We're one of the best. We're trying to win it again, and wow. Wow. That was nice. There you go, Preston. Yeah, anytime you see the Stars, you be in the building, bro. I'll be pumping them out for you too. I do it not only for me, but I'm doing them for you as well. I enjoy watching them. 2-1. Stars. Dadanov, assisted by Delendra and Ryan Suter. Pavlevsky, Robertson. You got players, man. They're fun to watch. To me, when I watch them, like as an outsider, as a Kraken fan, yeah, it's like if this isn't one of the top 5 teams, then you don't know who the players are on the team. Like, Joe is worth watching the Stars by himself, just Joe, right? And then you got Jason, right? And then you get guys like Jamie Benn, and then my favorite's Rupi Hintz, right? And then Ottinger, is nice. So even though he's not in there right now, but like, it's like I enjoy watching them, man. Sometimes, and I'll be honest, sometimes the Stars are funner than the Avalanche. Sometimes the Stars are even on that Vegas Golden Knights level. And that's saying something because Kraken is always going to be number one. But if I'm going to go for like, who is my number one choice? And I'll do Devils for Aiden and Odin, but like, who's my number one choice? And Dallas, I feel, is like probably right underneath Vegas is like my top choice. And sometimes Dallas even over Colorado. And that's saying something. So, yeah, well, the rivalry for you, it's going to run deep. I try to look at it from no rivalry standpoint because, when I'm doing this, just like anything that I do, I try to look at it from no bias and just look at the players and the coaches and the team with no rivalry, try to block that out. And then, but obviously, for, fans, it's different. For me as a host, I, see things a certain way, and when I was younger, yeah, I would be in that boat. If I was younger, I'd be like, in the situation and I wasn't doing this YouTube channel, I would be like, yeah, I can't root for Dallas. I'm a Kraken fan. Nope. Can't root for Dallas. Can't root for Colorado. Can't root for Vegas because those are the teams that are going to end up beating us. And we're going to end up getting our hearts ripped out by those teams. So we have to not like them so that way that we get to a point where we can end up doing the fatalities and the Mortal Kombat moves against them. Because that's ultimately what it is. But I can admire them and they're talented players. I see what they have. But, again, for me, it's like I'm trying to appreciate the greatness across the board. And it's just like with the NFL, like you being a Seahawks fan, you can't root for the Niners. You might have a player or two in fantasy. You might end up like thinking, oh, this guy's all right. Maybe if he was a Seahawk, then I could root for him. But when the rivalries are deep, there's no Niner fan that's rooting for the Hawks and no Hawk fan rooting for the Niners. So I get that. Just like Cowboys and Eagles. Yeah, to me, Vegas is the gold standard. Like when you look at everything that they have, the way that they build every year, and the depth that they have. I think that's the number one thing that I noticed about them. It's depth, depth, depth. And it's not just for like the one line, it's like not only for centers, but then forwards, and then depth, depth, depth. And then you go further, and then you go defensemen, big, physical, depth, right? And then goalies, and then just everything that the organization has been able to achieve. It's impressive. And I'm hoping that, like I said, even if we have to be a 2.0 version of that until we can make a name, for ourselves, but just model, their success to try to be our success. And I'm hoping that, at one point we beat them to make the Stanley Cup. I mean, ultimately we're going to have to, we're going to have to beat up on Colorado, Dallas, and Vegas if we want our dreams to come true. And I think that we'll be able to make it happen. But it may take us 5 to 10 years to get the team good enough, hopefully. And I feel Seattle is still, we need a superstar. Like right now, it's like we got Bjorky as an all-star. Maddie is the up-and-comer. Decord and Gru, we'll see how that goes. But I feel like and then you got Jaden, we got Schwartzy. Like we got lots of guys, right? But do we have our Sidney Crosby? Do we have our Alexander Ovechkin? Do we have our Connor Bedard? Do we have like that? Or like our Gretzky, our Lemieux? Do we have that for Seattle? And I don't think that maybe that player is there yet. And then once we end up getting that player, to add on to Bjorky and Maddie and everything that we have, maybe then that's when Seattle takes off. Once we get our big superstar where they're like, oh, that Seattle Kraken player, yeah, he's a top 5 player in the NHL. Like, no doubt, he is top 5 or top 3. That's what I'm hoping for. So, yeah, but if we could end up having a superstar, what would you want? Superstar Megan Center, superstar forward, superstar defenseman, like best in the league, or superstar goalie? Like, what would you want if once we got that superstar? Superstar center? I mean, if we ended up having a superstar center, then I could see that elevating us just like any other team. So. Judah. How are you, Judah? Yeah. I mean, it's not like I'm taking away from anything from Maddie and Bjorky, but I'm just saying if, like, let's say, Maddie ends up being the 2 and he ends up elevating his game, and Bjorky is like 2B, he's like number 3, and then we got Schwartz and all these other guys that are great, but then we have this like 1 where no one can like imagine if Connor Bedard was on Kraken. Like it would be a different vibe. Like we understand what we have, but this player's potential is higher than anyone else on the team, and maybe higher than some people across the board in the league. There's going to be certain superstars that are in the league, and the higher of a guy that we can get to be like the face of the Kraken, and there's no one that denies it. Like that superstar player, I want that to add on to Maddie and Bjorky and everyone else. It's I'm just trying to think of like what I could envision, us having. I mean, based off Seattle, if it was like defenseman and he was like the best in the league, that would be kind of cool because it would be like not normal, not common. but a guy that could hit and could score and could be like an emotional leader. That would suit like Seattle and like Pacific Northwest fans like that. Or it could end up being like an offensive guru with passing, skating, and scoring like a center. And then that obviously could propel us into the Stanley Cup. So, yeah, of course it's gonna take time for sure. End of the first period, 2-1 Stars. Let me get the Dadonov photo here real quick, and then let's get into some photos. What do you want, Megan? What do you want, Mr. Williams? I know he'll come back. Let's get a couple for Mr. Williams and as well. We'll get some Dodgers and some Rams, and we'll sprinkle some of that stuff in. Dadonov. Judah. How are you, my guy, my Judah? Judah in my mind. Good first period. Anything that's not 0-0 in hockey is an amazing period. Maybe it's me being entranced with the Dallas's colors as well, and that love for the green that I have. It's like green and blue. It's like for the Ducks. And anytime I look at certain green or white and green, I mean, it's not going to be like the same for me because Green Apple is going to be my number one, and that's going to always be it. But and then with the Blues, like Mariners, Kraken, or that throwback Seahawks, woo, baby! All right, let's get some photos. Let's get some photos. All right, where do we want to go? Oh, I wanted to go here. I gotta throw up a few more. I gotta throw up a few more. What's up here? Go through a few of these, and then let me know what you want, Megan. Anything that you want there, I got you, Toronto or Kraken, and then I'll sprinkle in some stuff for Mr. Williams, and then I know when he'll come back, and we'll show him again. You guys are taking care of your mental health. You only got one. It's really important. Your mental health fucking sucks. Come here. We'll make things better. 100%. William Islander. Stud. There we go. I was going to scroll up, and I figured if you just typed it out for me, that would be, you're like, copy, paste, boom, shakalaka. I'm not typing that out again. Copy, paste. Thank you so much. Let's go. And being able to like jump back in, to hockey over the NBA was like the smartest thing. It's like, you got NASCAR, and it's going to be hit or miss. But with baseball and the NHL, as far as just like enjoyment, it's like you never want to be able to like force yourself to watch something. That's not you know. And I feel like the NBA has almost gotten to that point where you're almost forcing yourself to watch it if there's nothing else. You know, if you're supposed to be able to enjoy things where it's like you're looking forward to watching it, not trying to avoid watching it. So God bless the NHL and the MLB for being around. But man, basketball is not in a good spot. NASCAR, thank you. NHL, thank you. MLB, thank you. But at least March Madness, the one basketball thing that's not the NBA, is coming up, and that is cool. That's the one thing about basketball that's cool. Well, that, and also for college groups for men and women. You know, even the women's is more interesting than the NBA to be able to see if any history is being made. Either you know or you don't know. Yeah, they're pretty looking. The blue with the white and, you know, name, the white number, and then also the maple leaf on the front being white, it pops, you know? Like when you end up looking at the white jersey, it's got the blue leaf with the white writing, and it just doesn't look as cool. It's still a cool looking jersey, but when you look at this version, you know, just the white maple leaf on the blue compared to the blue on the white jersey, you know, they're both awesome. But one looks better than the other, and when you look at the maple leaf on white on blue like that, it's just beautiful. It's like structurally put together the way a fucking jersey is supposed to look, and the font on the back, the numbers actually look like they match. You know, it looks like a hockey jersey. Woo! So here's like, you look at the back of the jersey, right? The Nylander and the Matthews. And then this one. So I've started to realize what this reminds me of. This reminds me of like Miles Austin and like that Cowboys era, you know, Tavon Austin, Miles Austin, kind of like the Dez Bryant era. And I don't know, man. It just, I got to figure out what year this photo is actually taken, but that font though is just so wild. I mean, you have the standard and the number, and then you got like this. It's just wild, man. Wild. And then if you look at the old jersey with the maple leafs, there's no lines on the left there. When you look at the maple leaf, it says Toronto Maple Leafs. And then as they have upgraded it, they put the branches on there, which I think is a very, very cool touch. Whoever decided, you know what, we should actually put like the branches on there. Damn, we should. And then if you look, like how much of a difference the jersey, like you look from like a plain Jane kind of, right? And then all of a sudden it got like I got a nice little facelift, and it looks good. Wrigley Field. I like it. 2-1 Stars. End of the first period. We're in intermission. Nylander, Jamie Benn, not enough. Woo! Sundin. Delete these with some more. Let's find some more. Let's go. Anna. Time for Mitch. Yeah, give me all that maple leaf. Give me all that. I'm at Tomana. Oh, I got an epic one. Oh, that's cool. That cameraman gets a raise. You don't see too many that are awesome like that, like right at you. Like maybe that guy got hit. That's super dope. That's actually one of the best ones I've ever seen. Beautiful. I know football's almost over. But again, you know, we got the most out of the season compared to a lot of other people that are really going to be upset, you know, pretty soon. Like right when the Super Bowl is over, then that's going to start, you know, kicking in if you don't have anything else to fall back on. You got to be able to follow other things other than football so that way that, you know, you have other things to look forward to. I wish we didn't have to wait so long for the Kraken. You know, it's like normally I get my like 2 Kraken games a week or 3, you know, or 2 Kraken and then I got to do 1 or 2 of like others. But it's like to go that long. I'm like, gosh, I already had to go a couple days before the All-Star break. And then all of a sudden now I got the All-Star game and all the festivities. And I'm like, yes, I can't wait for Kraken. And then I'm looking at the schedule. Where are you? It's like, you know, but it'll be fun. Flyers on Saturday. All right, baby. Let's go, baby. I'll get you some more photos once we get into another intermission. Let me delete some of these. Even this one. Oh, man, that's a good one. All right, baby. 2-1 stars. Two one Dallas. Lots of talent. And if Dallas is able to win without Ottinger, that's pretty impressive too. Not that Wedgwood is terrible or anything like that, but we'll see where it goes. Who else do we have to put up here? Austin Matthews, Nylander, Sundin, Marner. I got it. All right. 2-1 stars. We haven't had a big fight yet. It's been pretty clean out there. But hopefully we'll get a little bit of physicality and we'll get a couple power plays and we'll see if someone can take advantage here. Yeah. Well, I feel with the players that they have, after watching them, last year and then the playoffs and then just kind of focusing on their guys, but with Joe and Jason and Rupi Hintz and and then the other guys like Jamie Benn and the others, it's like they have quality players on the roster. It's like it's not like they got guys that are okay. Like you plug in those guys on other teams and they're going to be difference makers. So I'm not sure if they're good enough to be like necessarily where the team sits now to be like Stanley Cup champions, but I do think that they're pretty fucking good. And like, it seems like very close, maybe a couple pieces away in the next 5-6 years. And maybe the Stars will end up, hoisting the cup at some point in the next 5 to 10 years. And I don't think that would be that crazy to think. Ten shots on goal for the Stars, 4 for the Maple Leafs. Passing is pretty crisp. No power plays just yet. 18 to go. Shout out to all the people watching on Twitter/X. Nice pass. Out of play. Let's go, baby. Hazlet Pup. Somebody sent something in the Discord. Hold up, I gotta go to my Discord. Hold on, Paisley. What is on the Discord? It's kind of cool that we're starting to use that again a little bit more. See if I can find a good Wedgwood. Two, one stars. Oh, they're getting scrappy now. Here we go. Here we go. Oh, we're gonna get a fight here really quick. I was waiting for it. I was gonna say, well, I don't know if it's gonna be in the second period or the third period, but it's getting a little bit more chippy out there. Let's go. Damn. Look at his knees buckled. All right, 16 minutes left in the second period. 2-1 Stars. 10 shots on goal for Dallas, 6 for Toronto. Maybe if we can get Matthews going. Matthews, where are you? World Tag Team Champions. Yeah, let's do that. Let's get to 10, and then if we get more people, let's try to get to 15 and then 20. Let's do that. Super Bowl Sunday. So I'm thinking what we're going to end up doing, we'll end up doing oh, baby, 2-2. There it is. You ask and you shall receive. Wow. Wow. Yes. Tavares, I see you. He said, you know what? It's about time that we fucking tie this game up. How about now? Wow. Wow. That was so clean. 2-2. Wow. Okay. But we'll do hockey Thursday. We'll do probably NFL, preview and predictions, and just talk about like Super Bowl and NFL and whatever. And then Saturday, we got is it like the All Star festivities for the NBA? When is that? Is that this weekend? And then obviously NASCAR stuff coming up, and we'll figure out each day what we're going to end up doing. So. See if I get a John. Where are you, John? There you are. Where's John at? John T. He said, yes, sir. That's me. 2-2, baby. Let's go. Nice job. No dull moments in the game, just electricity the whole way through. Gosh, man, if I didn't have NASCAR, Major League Baseball, and the NHL, I would be not in a good place mentally. Like for the people that just watch like one thing, I don't even know how they do it. What sport lasts the longest overall? What is it? Soccer? What's the sport the season goes the longest throughout the year out of all the sports? I mean, baseball, you're going to get it from like February, March until October. So baseball is definitely really, really long, right? Longer than the NFL or college football. And then NBA is like end of October until like June. So that one's kind of right. MLB and then the NHL season. I guess it just depends on what soccer league and how long they go. If some go longer than others. For all the people that watch soccer on a regular basis, you can tell me. They play all year with no designated month off to take a break. They just keep going. When I first did the channel and I did like rugby reactions and things like that, and going over soccer players and rugby players, I enjoyed it. Like I said, watching the highlights and watching the big hits, it's like you may not fully understand all the terminology, but you try to embrace it. Those were always fun videos to do. 15 minutes to go in the second period, knotted up at 2. Let's get those likes up, baby. Hopefully this will go at least, I'm hoping, in the 4 range. I mean, if we get more than 4, then but we're already sitting at 2-2. We'll see where it goes. Easy, bro. Easy. I mean, like I said, Pat is the most responsible one in the family overall, compared to the dad or the brother, maybe him and his mom. It's like you can't control people, bro. You know how it goes. Yeah, everyone's got their demons and everyone's got different like addictions and things that they fall back on. And of course, if you're number one, if you're drinking and you're drinking often, chances are you're not making good decisions. And then if you're at one place and you want to go drink from one place to another, even if you've gotten in trouble for it, if you're into that and you can't get out and that's just who you are, it's not going to matter that you got money. It's going to be the inconvenience of leaving the vehicle wherever that bar was or location was, and you don't give a shit if you get caught because you're not even in the even if he was half sober, half whatever. But I think for a lot of people, they don't have that like, oh, that moment where they're like, oh, this is dumb. I should just do this, But I mean, I guess if you got money and you just get to that mode where you don't care, you know. And a lot of times when people have that happen, they don't. How many people that you hear, that get a DUI and it's just one, and they learn their lesson. There are ones out there. There's going to be some like success stories where they like, fuck, I fucked over, fuck, everything's not good, and then they got one, and then they never got one after that. But then you also have the flip side where you got the one that got one, girl or guy, and sometimes that leads to 2, 3, 4, 5, or never having a license again. The driving and the drinking. Yeah, well, he tried to do it to save everyone else from the other stuff that's going on in the media. He was trying to do everyone a favor. Yeah. Doesn't matter if you have access to millions of dollars. If you're drinking or if you're a drunk, right? You're not thinking properly, you know? Oh, right? Whether you like, for the people that are heavy drinkers and stuff, you don't have control over thoughts and actions and good decisions. And a lot of times they don't want to leave their car behind or, they don't want to have someone drive them around. I mean, why do drunk people do drunk people things? Oh, but I don't think Judah that him getting the DUI or the Kelsey Swift news on the daily is going to affect the Chiefs from not winning the Super Bowl. I think that the Chiefs can still win the Super Bowl no matter what is out on the media or what's going on, you know? They got Patrick Mahomes. Anytime you got Patrick Mahomes, you're going to have a chance, just like when the Pats had Brady. Anytime Brady is there, you know, they're going to have a chance. Well, yeah, it's his third one. I mean, shit, if you end up, you know, going to jail or getting a record and you're not learning after the first or second time, then you're not going to learn until you actually don't get one ever again. I mean, sometimes that's just how it goes. It's not about the money, you know, and, you know, obviously, you know, riding with someone when you're faded, you know, it's probably not ideal, you know, depending on what he's doing, you know, saying weird things, trying to control the radio, being weird, you know, being drunk, you know, so sometimes you know, you want to be in your own company, I guess. But that ain't going to affect Pat. Pat is so fucking locked in as like the best quarterback on the planet. Like nothing will distract him. Like nothing. Like Brittany gets into the news, his wife, his kids, fucking the brother, the mom, the dad. Fuck, it don't matter as long as it's not him, you know. And then they got the enemy in the fucking building helping him out. It's hard to bet against a guy like Pat. But the Niners have the team that's good enough to beat him. But both defenses are good. But, you know, is it going to be like Pat's going to play better than Brock, right? Or is Brock going to play just as good as Pat? Whose defense is going to be the best out of the two? They're both top five. They both play like top three sometimes. Chiefs D has been better as of late than the Niners, though. Both got really good running backs, but one is the best in the world. Offensive line, that's really going to be the magic, you know, unit. Whatever's offensive line plays the best is going to win the Super Bowl. So if that's the Chiefs, they're going to win, you know. But again, it's like sometimes you think the position that is the weakest ends up being the MVP. Like, you know, the Chiefs' offensive line was the single reason that they beat the Eagles last year. So I did see that. That is a long time. We kind of knew that this would be something that he could do. It gives him an opportunity to make money, right? And also, you know, he's not afraid of the cameras. You know, it's like Bill Belichick is not necessarily someone that, you know, would like to talk, I think, in front of a camera. You know, some people are going to be you know, camera shy, I guess. But you need money, and, you know, they're going to respect what you have to say, and you're on a platform. Yeah, why not? You know, unless you just want to just sit at home and maybe it'd be too boring for him. But make that money, Saban. He's got a lot of important things to say. You know, there's been people on the internet saying that Saban and Belichick should do a podcast together. You know, if they did a podcast together, um, that would be interesting. You know, that would be something that you would grab the attention of some people because it's like, okay, Saban talking, that's nothing incredibly crazy. But getting Saban to talk with Belichick at the same time, that would be something that I think people would tune into here and there. But I don't think that is something that's going to be on the board anytime soon. Just like a fan thing. But now Saban's going to make that money. But ESPN is terrible, though. All right, we're knotted up at 2. I'm going to give Dallas a little love up here, too. Spinning logo, the Pulson logo. It's weird now with no Saban and Harbaugh. I'm like college football, a little piece of me died a little bit. You know, it's like having guys that talented and that good, you're not going to see that again. So now it's going to be like Sarkisian, Day, Lanning. Who's going to catch up to Kirby Smart? And then what happens if something happens with Kirby Smart and he leaves, if he leaves? Or, you know, I mean, it definitely is going to make more room for someone to emerge, to join the GOATs. And out of like the top 4 or 5 coaches, there's going to be someone else that emerges. But obviously, if you're Ohio State, Oregon, or Texas, you're feeling pretty good about yourself. Georgia is Georgia, and we get that. And Bama and Michigan will still be Bama and Michigan, but definitely Texas, Ohio State, Oregon, we're feeling ourselves with recruiting and feeling like chips could actually happen for Ohio State, Oregon, and Texas. And you know what? That fucking makes us happy. Now it's just like, what would I be more happy though? Ducks winning a Natty or the Mariners winning a World Series? Like both equally special to me. Nick Saban. And with Saban too, it was like exciting too because you either were a fan or you were rooting against him, or you were just waiting to see what would happen. With Georgia and Bama and the rivalry. And he was like a guy where he wasn't like this guy that needed all the attention. He didn't need to talk. It was about the players. But if you gave him a microphone and he needed to talk in the pregame or the postgame, he would. And I think he came across as overall passionate and genuine. And obviously, when you're Alabama, you're getting the best players. So recruiting was number one. I mean, you're going to be a happy man if you have the number one recruiting team in fucking sports in college football. So, but I am going to miss not seeing him. Now Alabama goes down. They're no longer Alabama unless DeBoer can keep up the recruiting like Saban, but I don't know if that's going to be possible. Saban. Good, baby. I got to look to see what else is going on. Anything else? Warriors 33, Sixers 32. Is there anything on the NBA that's worth watching right now? Hornets, Raptors, Cavs, Wizards? No. Warriors, Sixers, Hawks, Celtics. Nah, NBA slate's not that impressive today. Rangers 1, Lightning 0, and the better game. Stars, Maple Leafs 2-2. Good thing I chose the right game. And then Wild and Blackhawks in an hour, but no Connor Bedard. So if no Connor Bedard, the Blackhawks are not even worth watching. But I do like watching him play. He's something else. I need to watch a football documentary soon. Maybe I'll watch Swamp Kings again. Watching Swamp Kings for the first time was pretty sweet. And I grew up in that era. And even before that era, the era that really got me to love Tampa also and Florida football, was Spurrier in 96. But, with Danny Warfel and Ike Hilliard, Jaquez Green, Rydell Anthony, and then leading up to years later with the Tebow Urban Meyer era. But like when Florida football is on top and they are on the top of the college football scene, they are pretty fun to watch. It definitely is a vibe. And that documentary was pretty dope. All right, less than 10 minutes to go. We're halfway through the second period. We're knotted up at 2. They're getting a little chippy. Toronto tied it up at 2. And we'll see what we get here after that Tavares goal at 3:40. 16 shots on goal for the Stars, 11 for the Maple Leafs, now 12. Smash that shit. I'm going to throw up some photos up for Mr. Williams, so I'm going to prep and do that while I watch this. What should we do? Some Shohei Ohtani for him? $50 dono, $20 dono, $70 dono. $50 dono, $20 dono, $70 dono. Appreciate you. Got to sprinkle them in throughout the stream here and there. Appreciate you, bro. And I'll get some Rams ones sprinkled in too. Oh, penalty. Oh, baby, let's go. I can't wait for this. Doing Dodger streams for Ohtani, baby. Yeah, my dad's happy. My dad is happy. A lot of money, though. I think more Dodger fans, like with my dad being a fan since like the 50s, it's like no bandwagon shit. We're Sandy Koufax people. We're that's who we are. We're Don Drysdale. We're old school. And then going later on with like Earl Hershiser and Fernando Valenzuela in like 80s and 90s. But Shohei's a lot of money. But if he can lead them to a World Series or 2 or 3, then it'll be worth the money that they ended up getting the deal done. As a Mariner fan, I am jealous. No doubt. Oh yeah, I'll get some Puka up there for him too. I'll wait for it to go to a commercial here, and we'll do some Puka, Cooper Cup, Kyron Williams. Gosh, I can't believe football is over. Like, you look forward to it so much, but at least for the hardcore fans, like we have the draft and the combine, and honestly, if you're a hardcore NFL fan, it doesn't stop. NFL and college football stuff is like if you're a hardcore fan, it's all year. You're following every step of the way. Bang! Matthews, Austin Matthews on the power play, assisted by John Tavares. 3-2 Maple Leafs. Wow. All right, John. He said, I'll get a goal and then I'll get an assist. Nice. Three, 2 Toronto. Let's go, baby. 3-2 Toronto. Wow. Okay. It's always awesome when we can pick games and they're not duds. And I don't think we've had too many duds, honestly, because every Kraken game for me and Megan is going to be great as long as we're not losing like 9-0, and because it's Kraken and we love it. And then if we're doing games that aren't Kraken and we want games that have good goaltending, but if we end up having more points at the end and it's back and forth and both teams are scoring, then it's fun. 5-4 games are fun. 8-7 games are fun. Sometimes 1-0 games, if you're the team that has one, that's cool. But if it's a 1-0 game and you're at 0, that's not fun. That was awesome. Maple Leafs helmet from the goalie. They just did a zoom in on it. It's always cool. That's like one of the coolest things about hockey, even if you know nothing about hockey. It's like as far as style is concerned, obviously the helmets for the goalies, each individual one has gotten kind of swaggier and more creative, and the designs and the artistic ability. They've always been cool from back in the day, but after like 1990 and then into the 2000s and beyond, and you start to see like how detailed some of these are. There are crazy, crazy designs, and it's just really cool when they do the close-ups on every goalie at at some point in the game, so you can kind of see like, oh, what do they got on there? What kind of special things do they got on there? It'd be really cool to be an artist for the goalie helmets. Like if you were the guy that they called on, they're like, all right, we need a design, and then you're one of the guys that comes up with that process. Like sometimes you want to have like the centers and the forwards and defensemen to have something a little bit more than what they got on their helmets. It's like sometimes their stuff is like so basic. But again, the goalie has to have that helmet to they got to be able to show out. For goal. All right, let me squeeze in a little Puka. Mr. Williams, Mr. Williams, Mr. Williams. It'd be awesome if Puka ends up being a top 10 receiver the rest of his career. That just, be an amazing thing for him to accomplish. Like he's so talented, being top 20, it almost seems like, yeah, that's a given. But if he can end up being like a top 5, top 10 receiver compared to all the other guys that are in the NFL, for a guy that was like kind of a no-name guy and then emerge as a top 10 and possibly a top 5 guy in the future, that's pretty impressive. But it all depends on what they do after Matthew Stafford and if they can find someone that can get him the ball. And remember, they also have Cooper Kupp still there too, so they're going to cancel each other out, but they're both really fun to watch. They're kind of good. Sean McVay, kind of good. They're kind of good. God, I miss football already. Like, even for the like playoff teams, non-playoff teams, like God, what I would do just to be able to watch some more. You have to be watching like reruns on the DVD player or reruns on NFL Network after the Super Bowl is over. Top 10 games of the season. So that way everyone can get their itch. Mr. Williams, I didn't even know that you were back. I just took a guess. I didn't know how long you've been back for, but I got some photos up for you, brother. Regardless if I know if you're there or if you're not, I still do it. I'm like, I'll throw him up. He's good. Show Turner. And then give you some Puka love. Less than 5 minutes to go in the second period. How long do you have before you have to go? Anything else you want to do photo wise? You got anything like a movie? What are you watching on TV? Like I like to keep up with all the goats, and I like to get recommendations. I'm already watching many many things, but you're good. I appreciate you. Like I said, you guys are bankrolling the dream, so that way my mental health stays good. I can help other people. I can keep myself busy, have a good positive mindset, trying to help others, get basic things paid off to survive and eat and live, and then me and Paisley can live and be happy together. And this is us. Also, you like to cry, so certain shows are meant for people, it's like they got the music, they got the right fucking topic, you know. So on Disney Plus, nice. I'm watching all kinds of stuff, dude. I'm watching like cartoons from like the 80s and the 90s. I'm watching Deadwood. I think I'm getting close to the end of season 1, the Western show. I might start True Blood up again. I'm watching New Girl for Schmidt and Company. I'm also watching Parks and Rec for my guy Aziz Ansari. So I'm bouncing around from many things. I don't got Netflix right now. I don't got Netflix right now, but once Raw gets picked up in 2025 and Peacock, I don't have to have that anymore. I'll drop Peacock and then I'll do Netflix. But I don't got Netflix or Hulu or Disney Plus right now. Usually I'll spend time on like Prime, and then Peacock for now. And then in the living room, there's Comcast or Xfinity cable. So a good movie with Snoop on Amazon. You know what's an old school movie that's underrated? The Wash. You ever see The Wash? That's like a fucking West Coast fucking movie. The Wash. I mean, if you were born in like the 80s or 90s, there's like different vibes of like Dre and Snoop and Yin Yang Twins and Too Short and E40 Underdogs, but not dogs with an S, dogs with a Z. Dogs with a Z. Sometimes like those old school movies, it's cool to like watch them when you haven't watched them in a while. Like one movie I haven't watched in like years, but I am due to watch it again. It was with Method Man and Redman with How High. So like with that movie, I haven't seen that movie in I can't tell you. I used to watch it. Like everyone has their different phases where they have different roommates, and some are drinkers, some are smokers, and then you have like your smoking movies that you like decide to play video games to, or you got the friends over and you're hanging out or whatever. That was like one of those that got put into the DVD player or the PS2 back in the day. Harold and Kumar White Castle, another one, a classic, a cult following. I love me some Harold and Kumar, and also too, and I can stand by this. It is like people want to think there's like stereotypes with it, with like the Asian and the Indian, but it's so true. I had like two really good best friends. One Indian guy, Sandeep, right, and the other one was Anil, and it was like real shit. Like the bond between like the Asians and the Indians is like fucking so real, bro. It's like different personalities, but I think the same kind of moral background and like loyal. And I don't know what it is, but it's so true, dude. And I don't know if it's every Indian person has an Asian friend or every Asian friend had an Indian friend or still does. But what I can say from personal experience, the friendship that I did have with those guys at the time was awesome. So part of it is like, and so any Asian or Indian person watching, if they actually have a friend like that, they're like, oh, like this shit, I get this shit because you've gone through that route. Whether you got an Indian friend or an Asian friend, where you got your idea set on food, and you have to go maybe drive an hour and a half to go get it. Yeah, you can go to Wendy's or McDonald's, and that's 10 minutes down the road or 5 minutes down the road. But the Big Mac or the Whopper or the Wendy's nuggets isn't what you want. You want that specific whatever it is, the White Castle. It don't even have to be like a drunk mission or a stoner mission. It can just be a mission. 3-2 Maple Leafs. Yeah. Keep dropping examples. Fucking Netflix, boom, Hulu, boom, shakalaka, Disney Plus. Because obviously with like Disney Plus, usually for me it's the Star Wars stuff like Mandalorian and all the other ones that they do. That's normally the only reason I would get on there. Or if I was going to watch X-Men cartoon from the 90s that I watched when I was like 10 to 12 years old. So it's like, boom, if they got that shit on there, I'm getting locked and loaded on that kind of stuff, but if I know something's in there that's worth watching, then I'll do it. But, I'm kind of feeling that I did kind of want to do Stranger Things from the very beginning. Like I've been itching for some 11, and I love the whole cast. And obviously, when we get to season 5, it'll shut down the world, just like when Grand Theft Auto comes out. Those two significant days in time will shut down the world temporarily. Stranger Things finale, That'll shut shit down for about 2 weeks, and about a month, everyone will be talking about it for a while. And then Grand Theft Auto, once that drops, that'll be the thing that everyone talks about for like the next 10 years because we'll probably have to wait 10 years for the next one to come out. So, and I don't even care about online mode of that Grand Theft Auto. I just want to look at the fucking missions and the cutscenes and see like the interactions of what the guys and the cars look like and how they sound and how they feel. Like I'm not rich enough to even have a next gen system, but I, definitely would buy one for that single game. That single game. Are you kidding? I mean, the game that I play every other day or a few times a week, my number one game is Vice City on PS2. And I'm gonna try to do GoldenEye for the 64 because I want to get back to the good. So you've been watching shit. You've been giving me some recommendations. Give me those recommendations, brother. End of the second period, 3-2, Maple Leafs. Oh wow, that's cool. That Sting shirt is cool. Old Sting and the new Sting, and it's all blended together. That's a cool shirt. That reminds me of my Ric Flair shirt that I had. Ron in the building. Every time I see your name, Ron, I think of like The Office or like Parks and Rec or a show like that. Ron Duffney sounds like a name that works at an office. That's my 2 cents. Let's go, baby. Ron's in the building from The Office. Yeah. But this is my life, before PS2, and then like when I get, because I have all my games, so I have PS1 and PS2 games, and I have like 20 to choose from. So imagine having an old school system and having like 20 games to choose from. You're gonna be all right. You're gonna be like, what game should I play? It doesn't matter. I got 20 of them. And then you're like this. All right, I need to show some photos. Mr. Williams, what do you want to see for photos? All right, we got intermission 3-2 Maple Leafs. Tavares and Matthews very active in that second period to tie it 2-2 with Jack Tavares, and then 3-2 with Austin Matthews. But Mr. Williams is limited for time, so we got some photos to show. First show. Give me some shows to watch, movies to watch. I don't know. For me, just being like an 80s and 90s type of person, like sometimes instead of like starting like a new show, like I have to go back to what makes me feel comfortable and safe. Like even though if I know the jokes or I know the episodes or I've watched the cartoon like hundreds of times or the show, but sometimes it's just like I like to be able to, watch something that I enjoy. Like even if I've watched it a bunch, like I don't know what it is about True Blood and that intro to that song, but it's like every time I watch True Blood from beginning to end, I'll end up watching like 4, 5, 6 other shows, but then eventually I come back to wanting to watch True Blood over again. And I don't know why it's like that for me with that show, Dexter, Game of Thrones, but some of like Breaking Bad, but sometimes they're just like so good that you like want to retap into that show again. But there's so many shows and movies that I haven't seen. I feel like kind of an idiot for like going back on something that I've already watched, but like, oh, there's so many cool things that are out there. And then I find myself rewatching Ninja Turtle movies that I've already seen and Secret of the Ooze. Like, why am I watching this? But, you watch what makes you happy, right? So, dude, I've been busting out all these toys, bro. Like in front of me, I have all these tubs, like my dresser. Mr. Williams, bro, you would literally like just lose your lid. I got like Ken Griffey Jr. I got Dale Earnhardt, Dale Jr. I got Stone Cold with beer. I got 1988 Joe Montana. I got Joe Montana with the touchdown pose. I mean, baubles, wrestling figures, Hot Wheels, Matchbox. Legos, bobbleheads, custom McFarlane's, just all the toys, baby. It's cool for me because like anytime I open up like a moving box or like a bin, like I don't necessarily have like the box labeled. Why do that? Why have it labeled where I already know, oh, my, Julio is in here or whatever. Like I want it to be a surprise. So if I'm opening it up, I'm like, oh, what's in there? Oh, I found a Mookie Betts Foco bobble, maybe from like the World Series year. All kinds of stuff, man. Wrestling figures, Thanos. Yeah, it's like and then it's got like the big figure, and it's got the oh, 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 like that kind of shit makes my day because it's like I'm like, oh, Clyde Drexler, oh, Larry Bird, and then all of a sudden there's like some fucking Star Wars or like Marvel or DC or fucking He-Man Skeletor thing in there. I'm like, oh shit, like because those are the things that it's like, okay, I got all the sports stuff and I got the wrestling stuff, but I do have a passion for like the toys that are the Turtles and the GI Joes and the wrestling figures and then the Walking Dead and the other stuff also. Star Wars figures are really high on my list. Um, Marvel, DC, Batman, all that, all that. What's good, Davey? And we know what happened. Yeah, 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 yeah. This is still so weird to me. Like, how the hell did that happen? I'm like, I'm a defensive guy, and then all of a sudden, miraculously, I get the goat shows up at the end of his career and then helps me get a Super Bowl. Like, what? And Gronk? Like, let alone AB and Bruce Arians, but Brady and Gronk, not just Brady. You got to be fucking shitting me. But that happened. And I think it kind of saved, Brady and Gronk's reputation. I feel like fans like started to appreciate them and love them a little more, and more of the hate and the haterade was more towards Kraft and Belichick, less on Brady and Gronk because it wasn't, trying to win for the Patriots anymore. So I was like, I feel like sometimes when you have a change of scenery, when you've been the villain, sometimes you're still going to be the villain, but people will start to like you a little bit more and respect you a little bit more. And yeah, I'm still in kind of disbelief that that fucking happened, but you know, shit happens, huh? I guess that's what the life that we live in. Sports gods were like, we want to make Oh Doggy Dog happy. He's like, let's give him Tom Brady. He'll never think that. And we'll give him Gronk. Shit. And crazy AB pre CTE or maybe during. And Bruce Arians. I got you, dude. I got you. Dodgers. 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 Shohei. Otani. Let's go. All right, what other photos? What photos? What photos do you guys want? Start ripping them off, man. Clayton Kershaw back to the Dodgers, so I'll go there for now. That'll be something for Mr. Williams, myself, and my dad. I got this amazing stadium giveaway from 2005 from Dodger Stadium of Sandy Koufax. And I can open up the box without ruining the integrity of the box. And I actually took the Koufax figure out, and it is incredible. It is probably one of the best figures I've ever seen because the way that the Koufax figure is, in the pitching mode, it's like the grip of the figure in the arm, it's like bent back to the exact way that Koufax pitched. And I have a lot of pitching, figures of starting lineup in McFarland, but this one is like the stadium giveaway, and it is amazing. Hack Jim and Steve. That's a good choice. Do that. Yeah, the enemy should have never left, and I hope he does go back to Kansas City. And if people don't want to, give him an opportunity, and if they want to, you know, don't if they want to be able to sleep on someone like that, yeah, I mean, go where you're going to be appreciated. And hell, it's like if you don't think he's good enough to be an OC or a head coach, okay, well, let him go and watch what happens if he goes back. I mean, like, how many more opportunities do you want for Kansas City to keep winning Super Bowl after Super Bowl, especially if he comes back? If he comes back, watch out, watch out. What's Vin Scully? And I got to give you Vin Young. I'm not going to be like, oh, Vin Scully, and then I got to give you the goat. The best storyteller in sports, period. Madden, for football, could tell all kinds of stories, but no one was a better storyteller in sports than Vin. Like, there's other guys that OGs that we lost, like Harry Carey, and there was other guys that were really good talkers. But if you're talking about guys that actually had stories, good details, could speak well, and actually remembered those stories, and were like, the greatest filler time for an announcer to be able to fill time in, while they're calling the game, so that way that there's no slow spots in a game and everything is exciting. He was that guy, hands down. If you ever listen to a game, you learn more out of one game, stats wise and fact wise, and were like entertained and learned something new rather than anybody else. Like, you watch him, you learn something, and it was like you felt the connection with the stories, and That was not something that was just like, oh, it just happened. Like the guy was super gifted. Matt in the building, super gifted. Show my OG. Like, certain guys, like when you hear their voices, like for me, Pac-10 football with Keith Jackson, like it doesn't get any better than that. Madden and Summerall, it's better than Romo and Nance. Like it just, you either lived it or you didn't, and depending if you were an NFC or an AFC guy. But watching Madden and Summerall do games was incredible when the Madden video games were coming out. But like it's like the certain guys that had this certain older grandpa kind of voice, certain tonalities, they were definitely legends that are no longer with us anymore that were definitely the best. Like there's a lot of guys out there that try to be like the guys that have come and gone, but everyone's going to be a little different. But, you ain't going to see another Vin. Not in this lifetime. He's a GOAT. Go, 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 go. Oh, Shohei. Take care of our mental health, y'all. It's important. It's okay to be emotionally fragile or mentally fragile. Shit, like I'm a guy, fucking lots of shit going on. It's sometimes guy or girl, doesn't matter the age, doesn't matter, where you're at. You got money, you don't got money, you know what I mean? It's like you got to make sure you're setting yourself up, to not go down that path where you can go. So that way you come here, things a little low, we'll make it better. All right, let's see what I can find here. Let's throw up some photos up for Megan as we're getting into the third period while we're in the intermission. Shout out to all the people watching on Twitter/X, as well as the people in the room. Love you. Appreciate you. You guys are goated. Like Nick Saban, goated. Mr. Williams, goated. Megan, goated. Appreciate you. Long hair, don't care. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I love it. That's the best part for me, too, being able to connect with you guys, and being able to help each other out and, doing my dream and whatnot, but being able to tap in, to history like that and my love for history and not having things, be forgotten. And I think a lot of collectors are like that too. You don't want to see these special items in like sports, wrestling, or Star Wars, or comic book stuff, or Marvel. Like, you want to see stuff survive and not have, physical things. Like, obviously people have their phones, their computers, and their tablets, but as far as like collectibles and whatnot, it's like you want to make sure you're being able to pass that down or, have it be saved. And all right, 3-2. We're in the third period. We'll get more photos up for you, but I got you. see if Matthews can score again. 3-2 Maple Leafs. And the thing is, even if I'm not a Seahawks fan or a Rams fan or any fan that's not my own teams, like I really, truly do enjoy being able to see like what other people like and what other people love. Based off players, teams, drivers, wrestlers, to kind of get your personality and where you're from and your vibe. Um, and then anytime we can end up finding amazing HD 4K photos of the past, I mean, you're not going to be able to see too many cooler things than photos from the 70s, 80s, and 90s. I mean, if I can find them, you're going to see them on the stream. So, Matt Payton in the building. Matt likes when I send him Oregon Duck stuff on the Twitter X. He's like, man, this is what I've been missing. And the thing is, I don't send that shit to anybody else. Like, you're the only one besides my friend Justin, but I don't send them all the ones that I send you. I might send one out of every 10 that you get. We're in the loop, bro. If you're wanting to go, Oregon Ducks, it's all year, baby. But you're naturally already built that way for Oregon Ducks anyway, as your like favorite thing. So easy to be able to get into something when it's like your favorite thing. Sky is very bright for us, I'll tell you. Pacific Northwest, besides the Pac-12 ending, that was the one bad thing. But I feel really bad for Washington State. Oregon State will still always appreciate those two teams and root for them and wish them success. Fuck, I wish they got to join the Big Ten also. I really do. I kind of sucks that they don't, but 22 shots on goal for Dallas, 16 for Toronto. Yeah, I'll get you some Largent before the stream ends too. I like looking at that stuff too. Anything, 70s, 80s, 90s. I don't even care what it is. You want to show me something from the 70s, 80s, and 90s, like candy wrapper, Squeeze-Its, fucking, toys that were out, Atari 2600, Nintendo, Genesis, Super Nintendo, Nintendo 64, GoldenEye, whatever. Like, it doesn't matter. Anything 80s, 90s, or if we're going back in the 70s, I like being able to go back in time to see how things were and the swaggy styles and the expensive stuff that we covet now are from those time periods. Big facts. My problem is if I had like a next gen system or if I had Call of Duty, that shit would take over my life. And then it would be like, okay, I got to stream, but then it's like, do I do video game stream or do I do the sports stream or do I not stream at all and I'm just fucking playing? Whenever I get a game that I like really like, it's hard to like commitment level, and then obviously the better that you are at a game, then the interest ends up peaking even more because if you actually are good, either doing the stories or online, then yeah, video games are one of those things. It's very easy to sit there and if you're into a game and it's like, oh, an hour, no, how about like 7? It's like you don't even you don't even like think it's going to get to that point, but time flies, man. Taking over your laugh. Evans, yeah, 100%. Winfield will give him the franchise tag. So, yes, 100%. Winfield's going to be a Hall of Famer. Evans is already a first ballot Hall of Famer. And it wouldn't really bother me either way if they did or didn't go for Baker. Like if we got Bo Nix or Michael Penix Jr. instead, I would be cool with that. But I know that since Baker had such a good year, chances are we're going to give him the money. Like he kind of earned his contract based off how he played overall. So is it ideally what I want? No, but is he going to be a top 16 quarterback? Yes. But for the money to make sense, to give him 30 to 40 million, Baker needs to play like a top 10 quarterback or at the lowest top 12 if you're going to give someone 30 to 40 million. You know, if you're going to give someone 30 to 40 million and they're the 16th best quarterback in the NFL, that's not fucking good enough. Like, you know, you got to be closer to like 8, 9, or 10, even though you're a lower name, but you got to play like Baker, you know? Baker needs a bake. But if I had a choice between those three, my priority obviously would be Evans and Winfield over Baker 100%. But, you know, Baker short term, great. But I would rather, like, if I could draft Bo Nix or Michael Penix Jr., and then I would know ESP, that's my quarterback for the next 10 years, I would rather do that than just have Baker for 3. Because what's Baker going to do at the very best? Get me to an NFC championship game that I'm going to lose and get blown out in. You know, that's best case scenario. We're not even getting to the Super Bowl. And that's probably not even going to happen NFC championship game. Probably like just getting to the playoffs is all Baker could do. Maybe win a game or two, but that's it, you know. I think that's pretty fair to say, even if you're not a Bucs supporter or a Baker supporter, that's a fair analysis. I think anyone would be shocked if the Bucs got to the Super Bowl or NFC championship game with Baker. I mean, the way that our team sits right now, we're nowhere near Super Bowl contender. I would know. But we do have some cool pieces like Antoine Winfield Jr. and Wirfs, right? Evans, Levante David. So we got some cool pieces. Rashad White played pretty well. Chip, good save. Wedgwood, what a save. Oh, I was going to look for a Wedgwood. Wedge. Less than 14 minutes to go here in the third period. 3-2 Maple Leafs. Okay, baby. Toronto's getting caught up on the shots on goal. Now they're only 4 behind. 3 behind. Wow. Yeah. Well, at the end of the day, you know, Mike Evans is a first ballot Hall of Famer. I think that Antoine Winfield Jr. and Tristan Wirfs, if they don't get injured, they'll be Hall of Fame. And the sleeper borderline guy that might take a while to get in but deserves it is Levante David. You know, he's a guy, if you look at his career and the interceptions and the sacks and the tackles and the length of career and the, you know, year in, year out production, like when it's all said and done after he's retired, he'll be one of those borderline guys that may or may not get in, but stat wise, he's deserving. And it may take him 5, 6 years or 7 of eligibility to get in, but he deserves to be in my opinion. But I don't know how many more years he has left, if this is his last year or not. Oh, they're getting chippy. Helmet flying off. He's like, give me my helmet. Oh, so is the NBA All Star Game festivities this weekend? Since we know the NBA is the greatest product on planet Earth, right? No, it's not. It is later. Like I thought it was more towards like Valentine's Day, like towards that weekend. East West, the 18th. So East West on the 18th. Okay, so yeah, not this weekend, the next. Because I was gonna say I wanted to do the Kraken and not the NBA All Star Game festivities. Man, I've already had to wait like a bajillion days to do a Kraken game, so Oh, Adam Snyder and LeGarrette Blunt eating a killer burger with LaMichael James. That's dope. It's cool that they support LaMichael James in Oregon too. LaMichael was so smart with his money, knowing that, some players are only going to play their rookie deal for about 4 or 5 years, Niners, the Dolphins, and then it was just over. But then he didn't spend any of his money that he got and ended up opening up a killer burger and then another killer burger. And then, like, now he's got 3 or 4 killer burgers and now has, plenty of money coming in based off him just being fucking super smart. Shout out to LaMichael James, my favorite Duck running back of all time, and that'll never change. Shout out to D'Anthony too, Black Mamba. Shout out. Shout out Mamba. Shout out LaMichael. Shout out Joey. Captain Comeback. Harrington. Mariota. Shout out Marcus. Shout out Herbert. 22 shots on goal for the Maple Leafs, 25 for Dallas. Momentum has shifted. Dallas needs like Rupe Hintz or something. They need some kind of momentum or juice. They either need to fight or to get into a power play. But, the passing, everything that happened in that first, period is kind of like died off a little bit. Okay. Go play some video games. You know you want to. I appreciate your support. Thank you so much with all of your mad love. Go, take care of business on Modern Warfare 3. Appreciate you. $100 dono by Megan, the true MVP on the channel. You're definitely one of them. At the very top of the ladder. Love you too. Appreciate all your support. It means a lot. You're helping me and Paisley continue the dream. And you can't put a price on that. But the amount that ends up being donated, the more the amount, the more it helps. So 3-2 Maple Leafs. Yeah. Yeah, but the thing is down the road, when you will have the ability, if it happens to, you will, but again, you're gonna take care of you. Not many people are gonna be in the same situation as you or Mr. Williams or Cyberpunk or some of the others, Reflect and whatnot. So, but sometimes you got to get some pops for yourself. And then once you've craved and got that need, and if there's something else for you to be able to make someone else's day, then you will. And that's how you've been. So, and I appreciate that. And there will be times where I'll tell you, less for me, more for you. Make sure you go get that toy that you've been wanting, because I'm a collector too. I'm on that same level as you. So it's like, sometimes you got to take care of you, $100 dono or $50 dono and $50 to get some figures, and then do another bigger dono later. Sometimes you got to be able to take care of you. Carl Weathers, aka Apollo Creed. Carl Weathers, a part of how many amazing series, shows, movies. He literally has been a part of the best things of mankind. As far as you look at everything that he did, played football, was in some of the greatest movies and shows. Amazing. No, I haven't. We did a Toby Keith one though, but we didn't do a Carl Weathers. But we always have to do tributes for people that pass. That's why I can always count on some of y'all, to be able to come up with the suggestions. We're a smart group here. We read, right? We're paying attention to what's happening in life. It may not directly affect us per se, but it's like, we read, we understand. Rest in peace, my guy. Adam Sandler had a nice post. Happy Gilmore, Star Wars, Predator. I mean, need I keep going? Do I need to? Griff Karga Mandalorian. Fucking legend. GOAT. Crazy amount of things that he was in, and he never was bad in anything. He was like Denzel before Denzel. Oh, you know what I'm saying? Denzel gives you kind of that intenseness. You know what I mean? But Weathers was like calm, cool, collected, like a cucumber. He was like the Joe Montana, fucking doing everything that he did of the acting. He just nothing phased him. Weathers, Predator, Apollo Creed. Let's see. 9:05 left in the third period. Let's go, baby. Take care of your mental health. It's important. Do it. Hang out here. Have fun. Life. All right. Let's see what Toronto's got here at home. They've owned the Stars. Stars started off strong, but kind of hit a wall, and we haven't heard anything really from them since the first period. Penalty. Oh, penalty shot. Wow. Daddy. No, no, no. Oh, the boo birds are coming. Boo, 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 boo. Oh, nice. Nice job, Dallas. Okay. We're knotted up at 3. Let's go. Finally. That's what they needed. They needed something, to kind of help them. Oh, right back. Bang! 4-3. Maple Leafs. Hey, you say you want to tie the game? Bang! Let's take the lead back. Wow. That was impressive. That was way too quick. Woo! Oh my God. That was nasty. If that was Ottinger, I don't think that would have been a goal. Wow. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Five, three, Toronto. Bang, 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 bang. Are you kidding me? What the hell's going on here? Wow. Is that what we're doing? Is that what we're doing? They can't even update anything. They went 3-3, 4-3, 5-3. What the hell is going on? Unbelievable. They haven't even updated it yet. It's 5-3. It is 5-3, not 3-3. 5-3 Toronto. Wow. Well, I mean, every matchup that I've been able to select, I mean, we haven't had too many duds of like 1-0 streams. So, I mean, most of them, I mean, the goal is to get at least a minimum of 3 goals combined. So, if you're going to watch a shitty game, have it at least be 2-1. But you want more than that, right? You want good goaltending, but essentially, you want each team would score what 3 goals or more is kind of fun. When it's 2 and less, it's like like 1, yeah, 0, 2, but 3 and up, you feel pretty good. I think the magic number in NHL for most fans to be like really happy is like 3 to 7, and then anything above 7, it's a party. You know, Unbelievable. Just like that, they couldn't even update the scoreboard. They didn't even know what the hell was going on. It took them a second. Like they had the 4 icon and then they had to delete it. 5-3. Come on, Dallas. Show me. I mean, it's going to be hard now. If they just gave up 1 goal, I would be like, okay, the Stars might be able to do it. Give it to like Rupe Hintz and like maybe they can make it happen. But to give up back-to-back goals like that, you're not coming back. Fucking Mana and Islander back-to-back. Boom shakalaka. They fucking own the Stars at home. But I think they're only going to be playing these 2 games. Maple Leafs won 4-1 in Dallas earlier in the year. So only twice, no other matchup. This is the last time. I was going to say maybe some payback for Dallas and Preston, but I mean, unless we get a miracle here, if Dallas can do the same exact thing that Toronto did to them in the last 6:41, then we're going to go to overtime. But that would mean that Dadonov and Ben and Rupe Hintz and Robertson and everyone. Hey, you need to wake the fuck up. Like, where have you been? Robertson, where are you? Yavleski, where are you? Rupe Hintz, where are you? Hello, hello. I saw that. I'm just ready for baseball. Shout out to Megan. Shout out to Mr. Williams. Great day today. Definitely helped us out tremendously. Oh, and so you never know, what's gonna happen. You never know what's gonna happen, what kind of day it's gonna be. But aren't you happy that we shifted Sarah into the NHL? We tried NASCAR, we tried NBA, but sometimes you got to try to be able to figure out not only what we like doing, but what's going to give us the best chance to be successful, on different levels. So, but I think everything is, turned out. The thumbnails are now on point, and now we're doing exactly, what we want to do. And if we have to stay away from the NBA and do the other things, that's the smart thing to do. Like, why waste time doing a sport that is shitty, right? There's no point. I mean, unless we had like a heavy hitter that loved basketball, and then we had to cater to that particular person, But I guess that depending on what we were getting, then yeah. But if that's not the case, then we're gonna do NASCAR here and there. We're gonna do MLB with Mariners and Dodgers and all the other good teams. And obviously, we sprinkle in a lot of NHL. Got to be able to have other things other than NFL and college football. One game left. I'm sad, but we fucking maximized our opportunity to grow and have fun with it with reaction videos and all the games that I called, on the college football and the NFL side. So we put in a hell of a lot of work. And hopefully the Super Bowl ends up being incredible. And the more that you know, the more interested you'll be. It's like if you don't know the names of the players of any league, you're not going to be interested. So if you take the time to learn, then obviously the more you know, the more exciting it is. Like actually knowing who the elite players are on the NBA side and the NHL side, or the NASCAR side, or the MLB side, it makes it a lot more interesting. Unless you have some kind of connection. Yeah, you already know we already are. You already know that. You already know I'm going to do Daytona. I'm not going to do every race, but if I can start off the season and kind of gauge, like if we get anybody or not, or if we can get anybody to sub or donate, and then that'll determine how many more NASCAR streams we do after that. Do we do them every week or do we just do a few of them a year? You know, I wouldn't mind doing them, but it all depends if it's going to make sense for us, to do them compared to, if we're going to skip out on like hockey or something else, we have to do what's going to be, giving us the most potential to grow, with subs, likes, views, donos, and, to put us in a position to win. No matter what, I'll be watching. It just depends if that's going to be the primary stream or not. But I'm going to watch every NASCAR race. Hell, I'm going to watch some of the, Xfinity. I'll watch trucks a little bit. I get bored. Sometimes when NASCAR is on, I just like it. It's like kind of cool to have on in the background, unless it's like a stream that I'm, calling or watching, then I'm really enjoying it. So I'd rather watch any NASCAR race than any other NBA game. I'd rather watch any NHL team play than any NBA game. I'd rather watch any baseball game, even the A's and the Nats, over any NBA game. That's bad. When there's no NBA teams that are willing to draw my attention over even the shitty ones in baseball, hockey, and other sports. The state of the NBA, not good. Mercedes. Yeah, I would assume so. Something in the Discord. We got something on the Discord. I like using the Discord. We don't use it often, but I like it. Smash the fucking like button. Smash the fuck out of it. It's like Will the Thrill and Odin on there having a little combo. 5-3 Toronto. I'd rather see Sasha Banks than I originally wanted Sasha Banks in AEW, but the state of AEW right now is not the greatest. And Sasha Banks going against Bayley, that would be the best thing for both females' career. You know, going back to NXT days when they were amazing. Five, three, Maple Leafs. It's been crazy. William Nylander. Then it went Jamie Benn and Daddy Dadanoff, right? 2-1. Then we went in the second period and got Tavares and Matthews. Boom, 2-2. Then 3-2. Maple Leafs with the lead. Then Daddy Dadanoff got going again, tied it up 3-3. And then bang, bang, Marner and Nylander with back-to-back goals. And now we feel the game is over. We might get one more goal out of one of the teams. Maybe. We'll see. But Dallas needs two. They need a miracle. They need to get one in about 2 minutes, and then they need to go empty net and then get another cheap one. They're getting chippy. They're angry. What are we at number-wise right now? And we're at a really good number today. Over 2? Hallelujah. That rivalry was awesome. Stratton is. I mean, they'll be using her like Charlotte Flair 2.0. Oh, icing. It's always crazy at the end of the hockey game when they end up going empty net and then they just flick it down there, just praying to get like some cheap goal just to end the game or tie the game up or whatever the circumstance may be. Come on, Robertson. I was expecting you to go off. Where's Joe Pavlevsky? Where's Robertson? That's the thing with Dallas that kind of eliminates them from being like Vegas and like the top teams is that their star players don't show up every game. Like, their star players sometimes disappear. And if you got 3 star players and none of them show up, how the hell are you going to be able to beat Toronto? You know what I'm saying? Like, Rupee Hintz, where are you? Joe, Jason, where are you? You got to be able to help out. The other guys put up 3. What about you? And that's why Dallas is still good like Colorado. But again, they may not be good enough to be like top dog, Stanley Cup, like playoff team, but maybe not Stanley Cup final type of team. Couple pieces away for Dallas and Colorado, but 239. So we need 11 to get to 250. I don't know if we can do that, but shout out to all the people on Twitter/X, and maybe we can get 11 more to get to 250, or even magically hit 3. You never know. You never know. Oh, I can't believe Toronto caught up on shots on goal. They were like more than half behind. Dallas is at 30. Toronto actually got past them. They're at 31 now. And it used to be like 28 to like 12. That was a rapid comeback. Well, Preston, I tried to do some Stars games for my enjoyment and yours, and you didn't get Rupee, you didn't get Joe, and you didn't get Jason. And those guys are instrumental. And to be fair, it isn't, Jake Ottinger in that. It was Wedgwood, Scott. So, you're not getting the same type of goalie. Would Ottinger have given up 5 goals? Probably not. Maybe 3 or less. So maybe this game would have been 3-3. And then if the other studs would have stepped up, maybe Dallas wins. But, coulda, woulda, shoulda, but you know what I'm saying. And I know you agree. Oh, baby, 5-4. 1 more. 5-4. 1 more. All right, can you get one more, though? Can you get one more? 5-4, baby. I like Dallas players. I wouldn't mind some of those Dallas players like being on the Kraken. Like like if I had to choose one guy, I would want Rupee. Like if Seattle could get him to come to the Kraken, oh man. Oh man. NHL, the Stars, how many comeback wins? 17. Are you the number one comeback team in the NHL, Preston? Or is that what that flash on the screen? Wyatt Johnston? Fucking Wyatt. Come on, Rupe. I'll get you a Wyatt photo here in a second. Final minute. Wow, we're almost at the end here. 5-4, 27 seconds left. I got to squeeze in the photo for y'all. I got you, bro. I'll even give you a white, too. What a comeback. Come on, Rupe. Jamie Benn. They got so much talent. Like, it's ridiculous. Like, it's either you got to get someone, better than Jake Ottinger to win the Stanley Cup or get there, or just keep, stacking chips, and eventually it's going to happen. David Chappelle Sr. in the building. Where is Dave? My boy. 5-4 Maple Leafs. Yeah, you needed Ottinger for sure. But also that, if Rupee could have got a goal or an assist, and with Joe and Jason, like Joe and Jason need to show up more. Rupee normally does, and but I feel like with how good Joe and Jason are on your team, they don't show up enough. They need to show up more, and if they did, then you guys would be like top dogs, in my opinion. It's just about consistency from all the top guys. Nice save. Rupe Hansen almost got one there. Of course, bro. For me, I see it in all sides. For the Chiefs, Taylor Swift and Kelsey, they show her right to make money, and then the cross promotion to get followers. So they're trying to get the followers, to join. They're trying to make money and get jersey sales, but it also is role model for the females and also a role model for girls. And it's trying to get girls to be interested in football. There's a lot of pros and there's a lot of cons, but certain people, they just don't care. And I get that. You don't care about seeing her or the story. And the problem is they just keep talking about it too many places. And it just, and it just gets to the point. But that's just where we're living right now and how things are. But I do get it. You got to look at it. It also depends too, if you're a father and if you have a daughter, and if you are in that situation, it's more relatable. So it's like if you don't have a daughter of your own, you don't understand. So you have to be able to look at it from every aspect. Like for me, did it annoy me to all hell early on? Yes. Does it bother me as much now? No, it doesn't bother me as much now. I try to see it from different points of view. But if it was like for genuine reasons, it's one thing, but when you know that there's always like a silver lining or there's always like someone is trying to get something that's like, using people, back and forth, using each other, I don't like that, but I guess that's where we live. So I got you, bro. I always like your shit, dude. Well, I appreciate you guys. You guys are the best. Final score Maple Leafs 5, Dallas Stars 4. Great game, though. Mental health. Let's go. Megan started off with $100 dono, right? That started it off good. And then we got $50 dono, Mr. Williams, $20 dono, Mr. Williams, $69 dono, Mr. Williams. That's good for the mental health. Appreciate you guys. Appreciate you. $100 dono. Appreciate you. $50 dono. Appreciate you. $20 dono. Appreciate you. $69 dono. Great day. Great day. All right. Well, I got to go for a long walk. Oh, yeah. Yes, I agree to that. I'm going to have to get in touch with Mr. Williams, see what other shows, what other recommendations that we have. Well, it was an amazing dono day, and it shows you all it takes is one person or two people, and you can end up having an amazing day. And then as you get more and more, you can have more phenomenal days when you end up having more phenomenal goats joining each other. But phenomenal, amazing, fantastic. Let's go. Sorry you couldn't end up winning that game, Preston, but it was entertaining watching your team. Hopefully we get Joe, Jason, and Rupe Hintz with a little bit more action next time I do a Stars game. Tomorrow we're going to end up doing Golden Knights and the Coyotes, or Avalanche Hurricanes, or Flames Devils. So I'll have to, decide or do a vote. And we'll have to figure out what game we're going to be doing. If we can get Odin and Aiden to watch against the Flames, Avalanche Hurricanes is probably going to be the best game. So Golden Knights and Coyotes is on at 6. Avalanche and Hurricanes is on at 4. Flames and Devils is on at 4. So I will, do a poll tomorrow morning, and we'll decide what do you think, Sarah, out of the games there? Avalanche Hurricanes is going to be the best matchup, but we've already done a lot of that. We've done a lot of Devils and Flames too, and I would only do that if those guys were going to be able to show up. So I don't know. Maybe we do Avalanche Hurricanes or Golden Knights Coyotes. Now, if the Coyotes could actually keep up with the Golden Knights, and have like a good game, I mean, Golden Knights might smash the shit out of them, but sometimes I like to mix and match with the games. I don't like to do the same teams over and over unless I'm doing the Kraken. So it's like if I've already done a few Avalanche, and maybe I want to do Vegas now because I haven't seen them in a little bit. We just did Dallas. We've done a bunch of New Jersey. So maybe Golden Knights at 6 o'clock is what we're going to do. Just because I want to be able to see someone different, like a different team, different players, And then maybe Penguins at 5 versus the Wild on Friday, or that will be our Super Bowl NFL stream. Maybe we'll do that instead. We'll either decide NFL stream or Sidney Crosby on Friday, and then Saturday Kraken and the Flyers, and then we got Super Bowl Sunday. So bang, 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 NHL, NFL stream, NHL, Super Bowl Sunday. Yeah, maybe we do Devils tomorrow. I mean, it all depends if I can get people to show up and what we're thinking, But we have 3 games to choose from, so 3 good ones. So, I mean, the Golden Knights are probably going to beat the shit out of Coyotes, but I like watching the Golden Knights, though. But we'll see. And then Devils will beat Calgary, more than likely. But it all depends if they can show up. And then Hurricanes and Avalanche is going to be the best game, though. Like, if we're talking about, like, best matchup, like keeping the entertainment going, that looks to me like it would be the most entertaining game. So we have to kind of look in consideration. Do I want to watch Vegas, or do we do it for the Devils fans, or do we actually do the best matchup? Something to think about. Preston, appreciate you. Sarah, appreciate you. Megan, MVP. Mr. Williams, MVP. People watching on Twitter/X, appreciate you. Matt, MVP. You guys are awesome. What a day. I did not see this coming today. I don't know. I don't think Sarah did either, but we'll take it. And it means a lot. Shows you who really runs the channel, and shows the most love on the channel. Mr. Williams, Megan, Cyberpunk, Reflect, and a few others. I appreciate y'all. Well, I love you guys, and I appreciate you guys. Final score, Toronto Maple Leafs 5, Dallas Stars 4. We'll be doing NHL action tomorrow. Make sure you have a great rest of your night, And I got one question for you. Will you know talk sports like us? Your boy Ryan, Northwest Sports Fanatics, and I'm out. Okay.